What is up, guys? It's Zelos. Welcome back to another house tutorial. It has been plenty long, way too long since we've done one of these. So today we're going to get into a nice modern desert house. And I think this is going to be an awesome one. So let's pull up some images here for me to look at, make sure I don't get myself lost, and we'll get started with this. What this is kind of a modern desert house, as I said, inspired by some Corrales watching I was doing. It's different enough that obviously it is my own design, but I took a lot of inspiration from some of the builds I've been watching him do, and so I hope it turns out well. We're gonna start with a simple doorway though. I always start with doorways. That's your base point. That's what you're gonna work with. I'm using smooth sandstone. I know you can't get that in survival unless you take it from a village, but I'm using it anyways, and you'll just have to deal with it. What we're gonna do here, and this is kind of a new idea, is we're gonna make this giant, basically, chunk of wood, and it's going to be 2 by 1, 2, 3, and 4 by 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're gonna fill that all in, so it's gonna be a giant rectangle of wood. Then we're gonna count in starting here, so you should have 2 spaces at the end. This is also gonna be 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is gonna go out 9, so it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, go ahead and fill all those in, and we will move on. All right, when you're done with that, you should have something that looks like this. I counted wrong in the last clip, so hopefully you can fix this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It should be 9. I counted before I counted this layer right here. So you should have 2 thick, and then this should start in this corner, and it should go out 9 blocks. So go ahead and fix that if you made the same mistake, which you probably did if you're following me. I apologize for that, but it's a very quick fix, so just go ahead and do that. Moving on here, we're going to follow this line here. It's going to come straight through right about here. We don't actually need to build it through there, but we're going to bring a pillar up right here. That's going to go up 3, and there's Jasper. We're going to bring this out 3. This will be a window. And we're going to follow a theme throughout the entire house with sand on top and bottom of our fences as our windows. And we can have another pillar here. This is going to be a side room, could be like an office or something. You can top that with smooth sandstone going like so. Coming back over here, I would really appreciate, Jasper, if you would stop with that. We're going to put a pillar of sand. How are we going to do this? A pillar of sand right here, pillar of sand right here. All right, and then we're going to have a window that is 2 wide, another pillar of sand right here, and then a pillar like that. We'll put a window here, come across like that, and you can cover this in smooth sandstone, half slabs like that, and this as well. So you should have something looking like that so far. Let's move on to the side of the house. We're going to build this in segments, just like a lot of the houses I do. Here we're going to have a nice side wall, and this is actually going to be completely solid. So what we're going to do is bring this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we'll have a pillar right here. If you did it right, your pillar should leave a space of 2 on the other side. Then we're going to take normal sandstone, which I conveniently don't have in my inventory, and don't know where it is. And we're gonna have that be the middle row. This is just to break up the wall so it's not one solid block. It's not just sand. And then we're gonna continue with our pillar right here. Again, we have this pillar right here. And then this back wall is just going to be a nice simple 1 wide window. Actually, no, it'll be 3. So we're gonna come across with 3 like that, sand across that, top it off with some of this. And you can go ahead and fill in the roof on this section now. It's actually gonna be a half block lower. So the inside will only be 2.5 blocks high. This is just to give us a little bit of roof elevation difference. And that's something that is not necessarily important because of course most people aren't looking at your house from the roof. But that being said, it does add a little bit of shape to the house. So we're going to keep it like that. Moving on, we're going to have a pillar go up right about here. Whoopsies, right here. This will go up 4 like that. Just like so. Then we're going to have a sand pillar. That's going to go up 3. 2 pieces of sandstone. This is going to be a back doorway. You can actually, I've built this house before. You can see the marking here where I had the other door. So that's good. It means we're doing it right if we're in the exact same spot. That's going to be a doorway. Okay, you can bring this all the way across the top like so. And that will give you your back wall. We can move on over here back to the front of the house. This is going to be like so. And then it's going to be a window that is 4 wide. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll have another sand pillar. That was wrong. That was bad. And then we'll have another normal pillar right here. And windows in the middle. That is not a window. Windows in the middle. I'm trying to get this house tutorial going faster because I realize this is a house I could do in 1 episode, but it would end up taking 2 if I am lazy and slack off and don't get this done quickly. So trying to move quickly, but still followable, hopefully. So what you should have right now is something that looks roughly like this. Moving on to the back of the house. we're going to have another sand pillar. It's going to go up right here. And then we have a sandstone pillar, like that. You can also top both of those off with sandstone. It's going to go something like this. And then we're going to turn the corner, come back around here, and this is where it gets a little confusing. We're going to have a layer of sand, like that, I hope. My picture doesn't actually show that, so now I'm really hoping. Then we're going to have a window here, layer of sand, window here. We should have 3 windows on this back wall. So that is theoretically going to be our 3 windows, and then we'll have 1, 2, like this. Nope, just like that. We'll have two layers of sand, looking something like that. Well, actually, now that I look at this, it's gonna go like that. This is gonna be our window, like that. This is gonna be our window. So let me go back and count that all for you, because right now you're just like, dude, you completely lost me. You have your pillar, then you have 2 layers of sand, then you have your window, sand, window, sand, window. Okay, so you got that. This is where we get to do some cool, like, cool wood stuff, and it's gonna look cool, probably. So we're gonna bring up a piece of this stuff. What is this called? This is dark oak wood, dark oak planks. That's gonna come around like that, go around like that, and then it's gonna go around the bottom like that. Look at that beautiful shape. Yeah, I came up with that on my own, not gonna lie. Okay, so then we have our back wall right here. We're gonna do the same on the other side, like this. Well, let's put a pillar in place first. Got our pillar. We're gonna do the same on this side. However, this side it's going to be completely solid. It's not gonna have that that space, and it's going to go like this. And the reason I did this is when I first did the house, this entire back half had no dark wood, and it was really heavy in the dark wood up in the front. So I kind of broke it up like this, and that just added a little bit of shape too. So that is why we are doing that. All right, you can top all of this again with your half sandstone slabs thingies. And you've got most of the house done. Let's move on now to this side. This side we get to play a little bit more with the dark wood shapes. We're gonna first put in a pillar of normal sand right here. Then we're gonna have this giant dark wood thing of bigness. It's gonna be 3 wide, or 2 wide, 3 long. It's gonna go up like this and be 4 in height, just like the rest of the house. And then we can top that off right there. Oops, like this. Okay. Right here is where I tried to record this yesterday and I made a mistake and I got really frustrated, and that's basically the reason the house tutorial isn't up, wasn't up yesterday, is because of this area right here. We should have a window of 2. Now we should have a pillar. Moment of truth, we should have a window of 2. We should have a pillar, and then we should have dark wood right here, matching the one over there. So it's gonna be again 2 by 3 by 4. And it should line up with this, which it does. So we didn't do it wrong. Last time, yesterday, when I tried recording this, it was 1 block off, which meant I had to delete like 5 clips I had recorded, because I can't just expect you guys to go back and fix the mistake, because the last time I did that, everyone got mad at me in a house tutorial. So I had to redo everything. Then Jasper wouldn't shut up, and I basically like had a panic attack. Not really. I had like a tantrum. Not really. I got angry. We'll just go with that. And so yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened yesterday. Okay, this part here, we got to figure out how we're going to do this. What we're going to do is have 2 pillars of sand coming in like this. That's going to go like that. That should work. Let's see. 1, 2. We're going to have a 2 big window here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I did here. Let's go. So what I do is I take screenshots of the house the first time I built it, and it's over there if you guys really, if you're really that curious. And then I take those screenshots, and then I put them on my other monitor, so I use those to build off of. But they don't always show every part of the house. So we might be improvising here, because I can't actually see this part very clearly. But actually, no, I think this is right. So we're going to have a pillar like that. Right, okay, this is good. No, it's not. It's wrong. I'm not entirely sure what's different. It's not really wrong. It's just this is going to be slightly different than the original. And I'm not entirely sure where the difference is. There should only be 1 block of sand visible here, and I can see 2. So, yeah, it's different, but it's going to be alright, guys. Do not even fear. Let's see. Okay, I think I know what the difference is. The difference is we should have a layer of sand right here, because this is actually like the bathroom. It's a very small bathroom, but don't question me, it is the bathroom. So let's push all of this back 1. So our window's going to go right here. This is going to be a pillar of sand. This is going to be a pillar. This is going to be a pillar of sand, like that. We'll cap all of those, and this should be more accurate, because now we have a space here to have the bathroom, and bathrooms are important. I like to use bathrooms, so it's worthwhile to make this right. We'll just put sandstone across here. I think this is a little bit different. There might be a little bit of modification going on here. Actually, this should be a window. That's what's going on. We'll make this a window right here. So there's a window in the bathroom, but since you live in the desert, I'm kind of under the assumption that no one's going to be watching you. And if they are, that's a little creepy. So, I don't know. But yeah, you have a window in your bathroom. I guess that's optional. What you can actually do is come in here, and because it is a very small bathroom, you can break out these right here, and now you have at least a little bit more space. Good luck, though, actually making anything happen in here. But it's just another room, so, you know, deal with it. Alright, let's move back to the front really quickly. We have this nice thing. This is just going to keep the shapes flowing, and we're going to bring that across like that. Then down here, starting at the top of the third layer, we're going to bring this all the way across. I can't believe I forgot this. That should have been in like the very first clip of the build. You've got that going on. Right here, we're going to have a roof that is actually lower than everything else. Jasper, I do not appreciate that at all. Okay, you eat your carrot, and you stop that. This roof is going to be lower. This is the entryway, like that. It's going to come up right here. And now what you can go ahead and do is fill in this entire area just with the roofing. And it should all line up perfectly and not be an issue. You can do the same over here. It's just going to be at this level right here. Go ahead and fill all of that in. So I'll be right back. Once you've finished your roof, you should actually be done with the house. On the exterior, for the most part. For the main house, there's still some design stuff we're going to do. But first, let's run inside here. We need to break out a couple doorways. So we're going to put one right here. You can break right through this giant thing, like so. This is going to be one doorway. And you can probably have your roof come in like that. That's personal taste. Get rid of this for you so you have a little more room in there. We're going to need another doorway right here. This is going to be a little weird because we don't actually have... it's not very even. So we could actually leave this at 1 as a 1 wide doorway and just throw in a door. So let's do that. We'll put a door... Where should we put the door? We'll put the door on the front of the second block. So it comes in like that. And then if you want to seal it off well, you can't really do that. Not well, at least. But you can bring this across like that and then just bring that down. Right here, we're not going to have any doors. And this is like the kitchen area. So this is kind of like your big main... Actually, this is like a living room. I don't know. It's probably a living room, yeah. Go ahead and drop in that, though, just so you have an entryway. It looks a little weird without it, personally. And then what we're going to do is make the entire floor birchwood. Because I didn't really... I mean, you can have a different floor, of course, for every different room. But my generic flooring for this house was birchwood. I'm not going to do an interior, but I am going to go outside in the next clip and do some exterior decoration. It's up to you guys to design the interior yourself and make it look good. Because I'm bad at interiors, and honestly, I do the same thing every house. I don't think you're learning anything from that, and you can probably do better than me. So that's why I'm going to skip that for this part. But yeah, go ahead and fill in your floor with birchwood, and we'll get on to the outside. One last thing on the inside, I've gotten my floors done in this room, and I think I did it only in this room, but you could do it wherever you want. I actually went around and lined the top of the ceiling with half sandstone slabs, because when I picture desert house, I kind of don't picture square rooms. I picture a little more shape. And I think I may have even had a pillar going up right here. Something like that. And, well, let's make it this. Just to give the room more shape. And that was specifically for this room, although that applies to any room you're working in. So something like that. Other than that, though, again, I'm not going to do much on the inside. I'm going to leave the inside up to you guys. It is up to you to make it look pretty. We're going to go on the outside, though, and do a little bit of beautification out here, because it is a little bit boring. So what we're going to do is break out a chunk right here, and then we're going to break a hole in the roof right there. We're going to dump some water in. Fill this up just because flowing water kind of bugs me. Then we'll come around here with leaves, just like that. Over here, we're going to break out a nice hole, roughly that size. And let's go ahead and put in a little bit of a pathway here as well. Just so we got something to work around, like that. And we'll just fill that in with sandstone. Again, I guess you can use any kind of sandstone. It does not need to be this. I'm just kind of using it because it's there. We're actually going to have redstone blocks down in this just to keep the outside lit. In a desert, of course, there are mobs everywhere. So if you want a functional house, you're probably going to want to make it so that there's not mobs spawning everywhere around your house. So we'll go ahead and do that. Fill this in with water, like so. Then we're gonna take bushes all the way around that. They're gonna end right there. We got our bushes going. Okay, that's looking good. And then what I did is I didn't do a whole lot of other decoration. I basically did the leaf stuff. So we're gonna have a pile of leaves right about here. And that's just gonna come down and bring it out a little bit. And we'll go down this side too. Maybe like that. And leaf placing is like super OCD annoying because like there's just the perfect placement of leaves that looks good and anything else doesn't look good. Right here in this corner, we'll just have a nice little pile of leaves. We're gonna go around the corner there with them. This is gonna be completely leaf filled in, and I actually think I had a lamp down here as well. Whoopsies, like that. Oh dear, leaves right there. We'll go around the corner here with leaves, but put a lamp in the corner as well. So we should actually go back to that other one we just did. Make sure we get something there. Going back to here, like so. Okay, like that. And then let's get one more pile of leaves. Maybe we'll have one draped down the back here, like this. Well, that's gonna not work. We'll put it like that. So this will come down the back and just kind of spread out a little bit too. See, like my OCD says I can't have a block there because it doesn't look right, but then we have wood, leaf, and wood, and that doesn't look right either. So basically it sucks. I feel like I'd be a better builder if I wasn't so limited by my brain, which is telling me that that looks bad, when it probably to some people looks good. When I watch Corrales, that's one thing I realized, is that he will do things that don't look good, but he'll just leave them, and then later on they start to look good when he combines them with everything else. Whereas I'll do something, if it doesn't look good, I break it right away because I just don't want to look at it. Whereas maybe if I were to just leave these things sitting there for a little bit, they'd start to grow on me. We're gonna grab buttons. This is a pretty common technique used in just about any desert house I've ever seen, so I will not take any credit for this, but we are gonna add them in. And I think this is just kind of, there's like Hispanic, Mexican, ancient Indian houses that would have beams coming through the pillars, and I think that's what these buttons kind of represent, is just what those beams would be. So actually, I guess we can do it over here. I've been only doing it on sandstone pillars, but we'll do it here too, just because it's spaces between windows. So you got something like that. I think I actually had a pile of leaves coming off of the top of this right here. So what we're gonna have to do then is break into the house a little bit, like that. And it's interesting because leaves, you'd associate this with more like a broken down house. But they just make everything look so much better. It's almost like cheating. But sometimes you just gotta put them there because they make everything look so pretty. Even though this is not an abandoned house, this is a modern house. So we don't need that there because we need to bring this out and down. Break a couple blocks, doesn't look so built up there. Put that there. And we got another pile of leaves. All right. And that is actually it for the house. Again, because I'm not doing the interior, because we really don't have an interior to do, I want you guys to do that on your own. That is pretty much it. So let's go ahead and fill this last pathway in. And I think we can call that good. So that was a modern desert house. Pretty simple. I think it's something just about anyone can do. But it looks nice. It looks very nice. It does not take that many supplies. Sand is easy to get. Sandstone is easy to get. Dark wood's the only tough thing there, but honestly, just about any wood. You could use normal spruce too. That would look just fine. Fences, buttons, those are all easy to get. So this is a very easy house to make in survival. If you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, guys. Let's go for like 150. I know this. I say this every house tutorial, but I will do a better job getting out another house tutorial within the next couple weeks instead of waiting like a month and a half between them. But again, the best way you can motivate me to do that is like it up, leave your comments and your suggestions, and I hope you enjoyed this. So I will see you in the next video. Until then, thank you for watching. And one last thing, because I forgot, this is not necessary, but you can put fences right there, and it looks even more beautiful from the front. Okay, I'm leaving for real now. Thanks for watching.